Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something really interesting in the digital safety space, a proposed alternative called the Parent-Child Digital Safety Link Framework, PCDSL for short.
Yeah, and it's positioned as a direct response, a potential replacement even, for the current Online Safety Amendment Act, specifically that controversial social media minimum age ban.
So our mission today is to really get under the hood of this PCDSL. What's the thinking behind it? How is it supposed to work?
And crucially, does it actually fix the problems people see in the current law? The more prohibitive approach.
Okay, let's start right there. What were those core problems with the current legislation that this PCDSL is trying to solve?
Well, the big criticism is that the current law is just too broad. A real blunt instrument, you could say.
Trying to solve a specific issue, keeping kids safe with a universal hammer, basically.
Exactly. The first major issue is government overreach and, frankly, privacy. To enforce a blanket age ban, you end up needing everyone, adults, kids, even tourists, to go through some kind of age check.
Which means creating potentially massive databases of really sensitive information. We heard about tourists maybe needing passport scans just to use Instagram. That sounds problematic.
Hugely problematic. Think about the data security risks alone. The PCDSL, on the other hand, wants to be privacy-preserving. It's parent-led and voluntary.
And the second big problem, just effectiveness, right? Blanket bans. Kids find ways around them.
They really do, especially tech-savvy kids. Prohibition is leaky. The PCDSL aims for something different, more sophisticated supervision tools, not just a hard no.
Okay, so it's about supervision, not prohibition, and voluntary enrollment. Let's get into the foundation then. How does this PCDSL actually establish the link between parent and child device without demanding data from everyone?
It's set up as a voluntary public-private partnership. At the heart of it is something called the Centralized Child Device Registry.
Managed by?
Managed by the eSafety Commissioner, so a government body, but handling specific, limited data.
Okay, walk us through that initial setup. How does a parent actually opt in and register a device? It needs to be secure, but also, usable.
Right. So the parent gets the official Digital Safety Link app. They install it on the child's new phone or tablet.
Okay.
Then they log in using their verified government account. Think MyGov here. This triggers a one-time identity check using the DVS, the Document Verification Service. That confirms the parent is who they say they are.
Just the parent needs verification at this stage.
Correct. Only the opting-in parent. Then comes the crucial step inside the app, a mandatory one-time choice. Is this device an adult device or a child device?
And choosing child is the point of no return, basically.
Well, not no return, but it locks the device into child mode and registers its unique ID, not the child's name, the device ID in that centralized registry.
And you said changing it back is hard.
It's intentionally complex. To switch back to adult, the parent has to go through the whole MyGov re-authentication process again. It's designed specifically to stop a kid from just, flipping a switch in the settings.
Okay, I have to push back slightly here, or at least ask. A centralized child device registry, even if it's just device IDs linked to a parent status, doesn't that sound like a massive target, a honeypot for hackers?
That's a really valid concern, and the sources we looked at stress this point. The registry itself is not supposed to store the child's personally identifiable information, like their name or date of birth.
So what does it store?
It stores the unique device identifier and links it to the parent's verified enrollment status. The heavy lifting on identity, the DVS check, the sensitive stuff that happens within the existing secure government portal, like MyGov. The eSafety Registry just confirms, yes, this device ID is linked to a verified parent who opted in.
Ah, okay. So the sensitive identity data stays siloed in the more secure government system, and the registry just manages the link. That separation is key then.
Precisely. It minimizes the risk profile of the registry itself.
Got it. So if that covers the privacy angle and the setup, let's move to how it actually works day to day. This is where it gets really interesting, right? How does it make things safer and maybe even easier while stopping kids from just, say, deleting the app or creating new accounts?
Yeah, this is the clever bit. It tackles both efficiency for the parent and preventing circumvention by the child.
Let's start with efficiency. How does it make things easier?
Okay, so once the parent is verified and the device is registered, they can use their central digital safety link app to do things like mass create accounts.
What does that mean?
It means for participating platforms, say Instagram, Roblox, whatever joins the scheme, the parent can basically click a button in their hub. The system then securely sends the necessary universal details, like a username, the child's verified date of birth, to the platform.
So it proactively sets up supervised accounts that already have the right age settings and parental links baked in.
Yeah,
That avoids the whole hassle of setting up each account individually and then trying to link it.
exactly. It streamlines that initial onboarding massively. But, like you said, convenience isn't enough. What about stopping the kids bypassing it?
Yeah, the anti-circumvention part.
This relies on the registered device itself becoming the gatekeeper. It's designed to enforce parental approval using OTPs, one-time passwords, sent to the parent's hub at critical moments.
Thank you, Sam.
Think of the device itself as being, well, trained to be a bit of a snitch for the parent.
Okay, an OTP system. That sounds like it could add friction, though. Is there a worry parents might find that annoying and just not bother?
It does add friction, but it's targeted friction. The idea is trading the universal friction of the old system, everyone getting verified for specific, necessary friction only for enrolled parents at points where risk occurs.
Okay, so what are those points? You mentioned hard stops.
There are two main scenarios it's built to handle. First, if the child tries to create a brand new, unlinked account directly on that registered child mode device.
What happens?
The platform is required to pause the creation process immediately. It basically freezes. The account can't be fully created until the parent gets a notification and enters an OTP from their hub.
So the device itself blocks the sign up until mom or dad approves,
Correct. The second scenario covers accounts made elsewhere.
like on a school computer or a friend's phone.
Exactly. If the child creates an account off-device and then tries to log into it on their registered supervised device.
Let me guess, another OTP needed.
Yep. The login process is interrupted. Again, the parent gets notified and has to approve the linking of that external account to the supervised device using an OTP from their hub.
Wow. So it aims to ensure any account actively used on that specific device comes under the parent's supervision no matter where it was first created. That sounds very thorough.
It's designed to close those common loopholes.
Okay, so the link is established. It's hard to bypass. Now, what does this actually mean for parents? What controls do platforms have to offer? Let's talk specifics, say, for Instagram or a game like Roblox.
This is crucial. Once that device parent link is verified, the framework legally mandates that participating platforms must activate a standardized set of controls. These aren't optional extras, they're required features.
And the parent manages these from their central hub app.
Correct. It gives parents consistent, granular control across different services. No more digging through confusing settings menus that vary wildly from app to app.
Okay, give us some examples of these mandatory controls.
Well, communication controls are a big one. Parents get options to limit who can send direct messages or DMs to their child, maybe friends only, or followers only, or even no one.
And for gaming, that can be a toxic environment.
Absolutely. The proposal explicitly states that for gaming platforms, parents must have the option to completely disable the display of all in-game text and voice chat. Not just mute certain players, but turn off the fire hose completely if needed.
That could be a game changer for dealing with toxic lobbies.
Hmm.
What about general privacy settings?
The child's account has to default to private. The power to change it to public rests solely with the parent via their hub.
And can the parent see what the child is doing, interact?
Yes, the parent can view the child's account activity, they can block users interacting with their child, and they can initiate and track reports made about content or users. All of this is logged in the parent's hub for transparency.
Can the parent post as the child?
No, and this is important for trust. The parent can reply as the parent, and the platform has to clearly label it as such, maybe reply from username's parent, but they can never impersonate the child. It maintains clarity about who is speaking.
That maintains boundaries. It's a very comprehensive set of mandatory controls. It really shifts power to the enrolled parent. But what about the wider community? Is there anything in this for, say, a bystander who sees something worrying, like cyberbullying?
Yes, and this is a really unique aspect of what the framework calls a social safety layer. It's built around transparency.
Also.
First, all accounts operating under this supervision must display a clear public indicator, maybe a little shield icon or text saying supervise account.
So everyone knows they're interacting with a minor under active supervision.
Exactly. It changes the dynamic. It signals that inappropriate behavior isn't happening in a vacuum. There's an adult potentially watching.
That could act as a deterrent in itself.
Hopefully. But it goes further. The system includes a new reporting option alongside the standard ones. It's called Report and Alert a Parent.
What does that do?
It allows any user, a friend, another parent, even a stranger, who sees concerning behavior directed at or coming from the supervised child, to trigger a confidential notification straight to the linked parent's hub.
Directly to the parent, bypassing the platform's own moderation queue.
Yes, it's designed for faster intervention on things like bullying or grooming attempts. The notification goes straight to the person with the power to act immediately.
And what happens then if, say, parent A gets an alert that parent B's child is bullying their child? How is that resolved without just creating online fights between adults?
The framework proposes that the centralized hub facilitates a secure, anonymized communication channel between the linked parents.
Anonymized how?
It would identify them only as, say, parent of child's username A and parent of child's username B. It allows the adults to discuss and hopefully resolve the issue directly, adult to adult, without revealing personal identities initially and keeping the kids out of the direct crossfire.
Trying to de-escalate things at the adult level.
That's the goal. De-escalation and resolution.
Okay, this whole system, the voluntary enrollment, the device locking, the OTPs, the mandatory controls, the public indicators, the parent alerts, it really does feel like a completely different philosophy. It's shifting from a simple, probably ineffective ban to trying to build a supervised, transparent, and maybe more resilient environment for kids online.
Absolutely. It's engineered, or at least designed, to achieve safety without that massive privacy trade-off of verifying everyone. It uses the existing secure government ID systems like DVS and MyGov for the parents' voluntary enrollment, and then gives them these quite specific tools.
It feels like it's built on transparency. It speeds its goal safety and builds this integrated system to achieve it.
Which brings us to an interesting theoretical point, drawing from some of our background sources on social physics. This PCDSL approach seems to embody what they call the social law of transparency. State your goal, build the solution.
Okay, but those same sources talk about an opposing force, right? The antisocial law of problems.
Exactly, that's the tension. The antisocial law of problems suggests that certain actors could be political, could be commercial, actually thrive on problems. They need conflict, fear, instability. If a problem gets solved, they lose their justification, their influence, maybe even their business model.
So if PCDSL is transparent and aims to solve the child safety problem effectively,
it potentially undermines those who benefit from the perception of an unsolvable crisis that requires drastic, maybe even invasive measures.
the very transparency and effectiveness could make it a target.
That's the provocative question, isn't it? If the PCDSL strategy is fundamentally about solving the problem through transparency and robust design, how does such a system survive in an environment where some powerful players might actually prefer the problem to persist?
What's the lifespan of a transparent solution in a world that sometimes seems geared towards, well, endless bickering and manufactured crises?
It's a tough question. Can a system designed for resolution withstand forces that perhaps benefit from perpetual conflict?
Something for you, the listener, to think about. We've laid out the mechanics and philosophy of this proposed PCDSL framework, the voluntary nature, the device integrity, the parent controls, the social layer. You've got the data now to consider its potential and perhaps its challenges for yourself.